There was just one thing I was really impressed with. It was their physique updates because Jonathan Majors, he had insane abs. Like it was like the typical chicken and broccoli 6 times a day story.
Right.
Hi, I'm Wren.
I'm Angeline.
And this is Operation Tomatometer.
Today we're joined by some very lovely guests.
Hi, I'm Blessing.
I'm Alex.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Thommy.
I'm Aqib, and we're from Benjamin and Cardozo High School.
And today we'll be reviewing Creed 3, which is the third film in the Creed franchise. It stars Michael B. Jordan, who plays Adonis Creed, a boxer with a thriving career and family life. When an old friend / boxer prodigy, Damien, steps foot in the ring after serving time in jail, Adonis must fight like his future depends on it, with a person who has little to nothing to lose. So let's just jump right into it. I have to say, I'm sorry, I just totally...
I was gonna say, Michael B. Jordan, he's hot as f***.
Okay, you don't gotta curse me. No, but he's actually so
Okay. No, I agree. And I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of action movies. It's just, like, not my type of film. But, like, this movie, like, especially with its, like,
The
action shots...
cinematography is gorgeous.
No, really, like, when they were boxing and how it, like, slowed down, like, that was so cool.
Which we saw in an interview that we watched. They based it off of an anime scene.
Right, yeah.
All the slow-mo and
Right.
That's
so cool. But any other thoughts?
Honestly, I thought it'd be a lot more action-packed, but it also had like a lot of family time, a lot of time away from fighting itself. So I found that really interesting. Like, they use sign languages. And it caught me off guard. So I was like...
the movie actually comes off a little bit more of like a drama that I would say than an action movie. It's you have a lot of those, like you said, like family type scenes, and a lot of story behind it that really I think wraps it all together as a story. It's really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why I enjoyed it more as well. But how do you guys think this is like Michael B. Jordan? Did you know that he also
directorial debut?
Yeah, right.
No, that's what I loved about it, because like he put his own taste into it. Because Creed 1 and Creed 2, like from soundtrack to action, it was all different. And then Michael B. Jordan being behind it, I think it definitely showed.
So you've seen Rocky, right? How
Yeah.
do you compare this to?
I think it has that same like underdog story. You have Adonis Creed bringing in some nobody coming straight out of prison just to fight for the world champion, and that's similar to how like again Rocky Balboa in the original 5 movies, he's started off as like a no-name bum from Philadelphia fighting Apollo Creed for the world championship. So it's like it's that same story, and I think it's kind of nice to see it. It's a nostalgic feel.
Right.
And the thing you talked about was also referenced in the movie when the mother, when she was on her deathbed, she was telling Michael B. Jordan, like, why not give him another chance? That's what your father did to Rocky. And I was like, oh, damn, this is, like, referencing to Rocky films.
But it was kind of weird that he wasn't in this one. He was in the first two. And it's like, some scenes felt a little lost or, like, didn't fit in.
Yeah, but I feel like it was still enjoyable. Like, I feel like Rocky being there doesn't have to be like the key point for people, for like Rocky watchers to come and watch Creed.
Yeah, and he's not the franchise anymore.
Exactly.
The franchise is Michael B.
Right,
Jordan.
especially for like newcomers who didn't watch. I'm pretty sure like all of did anyone watch the past two? No, but like it's good to introduce a new character for like because how long has it been since the last one? Like what?
No, it's been, like one I'm pretty sure it was in around 2013. The other was like 2018. So it's
been like
pretty far apart.
Yeah.
5 years, right? So like for new coming viewers, like it's easier to introduce like a new character. Yeah.
But like it was like never explicitly like shown what happened to Rocky. So like, what do you guys think happened?
I don't know, because behind the scenes, I think it's based because they had a different like creative director that he didn't want to be a part of it. But
it's a contract deal or something like that.
But I think it's also because, just like Star Wars, it doesn't always have to be...
Like the main, like the original cast. I feel
after all,
like...
he's not really the main character.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good thing that they're like straying away from, like, and they're like focusing more on like Michael B. Jordan as, Creed.
It highlights his abilities more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's Creed, not Rocky.
Not Rocky.
Yeah. Okay, what do we think of Adonis and Damien's relationship?
Yeah, did you guys like think that was like justified when Damien started like bad mouthing, like
I feel like if you go into his shoes for like he was in prison for 18 years and
right, that's what I was saying. I was like, this kind of
and
I don't feel too bad.
Like he like from his point of view, he's like, Adonis didn't reach out to me at all when I was in prison, so he must like not like care about me anymore. So I feel like from his point of view, it was justified, but. That's
Like, imagine going to jail for 18 years for someone you protected,
Yeah.
only for you to come out and see that there's, like, in a
They're living
different
in
level
Right.
than you.
Yeah.
Without you.
And, like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So I totally thought, like, during that portion, I was kind of like, you know, like,
well deserved. Yeah.
karma.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, if I was a prodigy and I saw someone, like, if I was in the same situation, I feel like I would have acted pretty similarly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, probably. I think Jonathan Majors was great in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen Quantumania, but I did think he was the best actor in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think I think it's gonna be his year.
Because this
After
is
this
definitely a
movie.
much more, like, emotional, like,
Oh yeah,
role, which I
Yeah.
think
he's showing
definitely-
his range, which is
definitely.
great.
And I heard Jonathan Majors, he's been doing many, like, huge films this year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's all over the place. And I guess Killmonger is also in this movie. We got Valkyrie in this movie. You know,
There's still the
everything's
entire
connected
Marvel
to the Marvel
cast.
universe.
Yeah.
So I found it really interesting how it was, like, basically flexing. They showed all expensive cars, expensive,
Yeah.
like, houses.
I feel like that's a very big, like, action movie. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, the guy has, like, all the best things.
But
But I
that's
found
also
it-
his character. It adds depth to.
Yeah.
Because even though he had all that expensive stuff, he was still down to earth. He like still visited his mom like every weekend to have dinner with her. He wouldn't like forget about her even after
Yeah,
all
he's
the
very humble as a
Yeah.
character, and he doesn't forget where he's from, and his family doesn't either. His mother refused to move out of her home into in with Adonis, even though it's like the high life and everything.
Right, so that's why I think it's such a good story, because even though, like, yeah, as we said before, right, like, Damon was totally justified, like, once we spend time with him and we realize that, like, yeah, we, like, start sympathizing with him a lot more than, you know.
So I guess like that kind of like adds like the realistic aspect of the
Mhm.
movie and stuff. Like there's like, oh, like there's this guy who's like, you know, like the anime protagonist as Michael B. Jordan, who himself is an anime fan, but like kind of like you'd expect him to highlight as like being the director of this movie, but then he didn't like show that much of the aspect, and it was more like, you know, like more. How do I say it?
Like even though he was the director, he shined the spotlight at someone else instead of
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, but there was one, like, pet peeve about the movie. Because the training scene was great and all, but I feel like the fight was very rushed. And it ended a little too fast for me.
Oh yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. Because it was like all like being hyped up, but then we like barely saw like.
Yeah, the whole movie
Yeah.
is about
I-
this
That's-
fight.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Well, it sounds silly, but I watched action movies for the plot. Yeah, which is like silly, and I agree, I guess, but I still kind of think I
You
like
watch it for the plot. And
I
the
do.
action.
I don't like that. I'm not a big a fan of that.
Oh, I would also argue that like since it's also his directorial debut, he was also looking to like appeal to more audiences.
Right.
That's
So that
like-
might be better to.
Yeah, so when he added like more drama, it's like oh people who like to watch dramas and like it just broadened his
Right.
like audience. So like next time he like directs a movie, more people will watch it. Things like that.
I feel like he kind of like changed the direction of like action movies. Like now instead of like movies focusing on just fighting, it's like more of like a life story. Like what's the connection between?
Yeah,
all
especially
of
the
them? Yeah.
wrestling movies. Like,
Oh yeah. Like-
we from Rocky, it's like all about the running and
Yeah.
like the working
The crazy
out.
soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah.
But now it's like focused more towards family and how they interact with each other.
And how it affects.
Yeah.
Family, just like Vin Diesel said.
Oh my God.
So let's give our scores. Like, let's start from there.
Honestly, it was a great movie, but I still feel like there was a lot of things missing. So I would give it like a good like 85 out of 100.
You took my number, but yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. 85 is a fair score for the movie. Very great, but I think it was lacking some details.
And hopefully it will improve. I don't
Yeah.
know if there will be a sequel.
I don't
but
think we should.
No, I feel like we're good. honestly.
Well,
We're
part of
good.
me thinks there will be a sequel because he did, like, in the end of the movie, he did train his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can be more-
But like that could be a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
have to
don't-
be Korean.
That's
That's
what I
true,
mean.
that's
I
true.
never like the milking of franchises. After the story is told, I think
Yeah.
the story is told. That's it.
And I'm excited to see what
That's
Michael
what
B.
makes
Jordan
Disney, like,
does.
Disney movies so great.
Yeah, because they're just one and done.
It's just one and done.
Like
Well,
usually
all the remakes. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
No, but it makes you want more. But if there's, like, the more sequels there are, like, the least you want it.
I feel like instead of like focusing on Creed, the next couple movies could be like more about Damien and see how he built himself into a champion. Because at the end we did see him like lose everything, and like we want to see what he does.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting redemption.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
His
like,
redemption arc.
in Korea, like, there's a trend of like the villains, like,
Yeah.
after they're defeated, like even in Rocky, like after they're kind of beaten, like they're never mentioned again. You know,
Right.
it's kind of like would he really be mentioned? Is
Yeah.
my question.
I feel
Like a lot of boxers, there's like George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, that all came back, and some even retired and came back and were even greater than they were before. So I think that Damien can have that same same arc. Yeah.
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 So
It'd be
what
cool
would you
to
give the
see.
score?
So I saw a Rotten Tomato review,
Oh God.
and I kind of agree with that. I'll be like in that general vicinity, probably 75 out of 100.
That's still pretty high.
I'm gonna give a 78.
I'm gonna just say I give it an 80. I'm just not a big fan of action movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with an 85. I feel like I want to give Michael B. Jordan more credit because like he really tried.
I'd say like a good 73 and a half.
73
Whoa.
Like,
Specific.
I feel like that's like the movie was definitely up there, like especially with like the cinematography and like the plot. But I feel like personally, I don't watch that many movies, but then like a lot of the movies I do watch, like they're more acquired to my taste. I'd
Right.
say.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This-
like mine.
So it was like a taste thing.
Yeah.
I think the average is about like a
79?
76, 77. I don't know. Because we have, yeah.
79.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Debut picture.
There was just one thing I was really impressed with. It was their physique updates, because Jonathan Majors, he had insane abs. Like it was like the typical chicken and broccoli 6 times a day story.
Right.
We all know that they probably took something, but it was really nice to see their progress.
Right. Definitely.
I feel like the best part was the training arc because it kind of showed how they built their characters into like something to be known for.
Definitely.
Like Michael B. Jordan pulling an
whole-
airplane. It was
Exactly.
insane.
And I think that about wraps up today's episode. Stay tuned for more tomato-tastic content from Operation Tomatometer on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Be sure to check out The Classic and The Classic Critic on Instagram and TikTok at THGS to see our bloopers, behind the scenes, and other cool projects. Let us know what you thought, and also make sure to check out the 27 with Mr. McCahey. And I think that's about wraps it up. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.